Hi everyone, so today we're going to be doing May-June 2018 paper 3. Alright, so if you look, they do give you a list of formulas, right, which you may or may not need depending on what questions come, as well as if you know your formulas. Alright, so if we look at number 1A, the internal internal angles in degrees of a quadrilateral are 12x plus 15, 15x minus 10, x plus 50, and 5x plus 35. Now, what we should know is that your total degrees, internal angles, the total degrees for a quadrilateral is 360. And if you're not sure about it, please remember we have this formula. The internal angles, the sum of your internal angles is 180 by n minus 2. Right, if you put n being the number of sides, a quadrilateral is a four-sided shape, so it's 180 by 4 minus 2, which is 180 by 2, which is equal to 360. Right, so if you do not know that is the formula you're supposed to know for the sum of internal angles. Right, so we know that 12x plus 15, so they told you that all the internal angles, these are your four internal angles, and it says equals to x. That is, we know, it's equal to 360. So we're going to add it to 17x minus 10, x plus 50 plus 15x plus 35 is equal to 360. Alright, so when we have a question like this, group like terms, alright, and then you're going to make the x the subject. So anytime you have used a term, write it down. 12x plus 17x plus x plus 15x plus 15, right? Is that minus? Yeah, minus 10 plus 50 plus 25 is equals to 360. Alright, so use your calculator. You are only adding the x's, right? 12 plus 17 plus 1, coefficient of x by itself is 1, plus 15 is equals to 45, so that's 45x, and then we have 15 minus 10 plus 50 plus 35. I'm just putting this in my calculator, okay? That is plus 90 is equals to 360. Alright, so 45x, we want to make x the subject, carry across, plus 90, that's 360 divide minus 90. Right, 360 minus 90 is 270, so that's 45x is equals to 270. So x, the relationship between 45 and x is multiplication, so if you carry across, multiply by 45 to divide, so that is 270 divided by 45. So you get x is equals to 6. Right, and that is the answer for this question. Alright, the diagram below, not drawn to scale, shows 4 straight lines. We have P, POQ, A, O, B, C, OC, CB, OA, and they say OA is parallel to CB. Given that OA, that is OA, bisects POC, right? That means it's just intersecting. And angle AOC, AOC, that's this here is 62. Find the value of A. Now, immediately, these are two parallel lines. We know that these are internal angles. Or, not internal, interior angles. Co-interior? Yeah, interior angles. And we know what are co-interior angles. That means 62 and A are supplementary. What does that mean? Supplementary, it means that if you add 62 plus A, you're supposed to get 180. So therefore it is very easy to find. It would be 180 minus 62, 180 minus 62, which is 118 degrees, and that is your answer for this question here. Reasoning for this angle being 62 is because they said OA bisects POC, that is this angle. Let's show the angle. They are bisecting this angle. So if OA is bisecting, that means these two angles are equal, right? And that is how you would know that this angle is 62, and obviously POQ is a straight line, and a straight line is 180. So 62 plus 62 plus B, right? Let's write that down. 62 plus 62 plus B, or it's supposed to be common, B is equals to 180. So if I made B the subject, I would add 62 and 62, which is 124. So B would be equal to 180 minus 124, and that is equal to 56. Right? And that is how you would have done this here. Let's read this part C. For this equation, you may find the following formulas related to a cone useful. Right? They told you the volume, so they're giving you the formulas, right? Volume is this, a third the base area. Your base in this is the circle. Yeah, a circle multiplied by perpendicular height. Right? The curved surface area is this. So a farmer constructs a storage tank as shown in the diagram below. The shape of the tank consists of a cylindrical body, that's the bottom here, of height 3.5, so it's 3.5, a diameter of 8, right? And a conical roof of vertical height 1.2. So they told you that your vertical height, that's not supposed to be here, is 1.2. So let's just put that in. 1.2. Alright, meters. Calculate the slanted length. Now first off, right, here to here we have two triangles, right? This side here and this side here are equal, and if you bring it down, this is half of 8. So basically this is from your center of your circle to one side. That's basically a radius, which is 8 divided by 2, which is 4. So this is 4. So I can use my Pythagoras theorem to find length, right? So I would say 4 squared plus 1.2 squared would give you my vertical or slanted length squared. So that's 16 plus 1.44 is equal to L squared. So my length would be so my length would be the square root of 16 plus 144. So in your calculator, you'll put square root. What am I saying? 16, 1.44. Right? You're going to put this in your calculator. Or you could put the square root of open bracket 4 squared plus 1.2 squared close bracket, which is equal, so my length would be 4.176122604. So my length would be 4.18, and this is in meters, so it will be meters, and you put it 2 decimal places. You'll tell them that you approximated 2 decimal places. Alright, and that would be a assuming that the storage tank is completely filled and is filled with diesel from an opening at the top, find the capacity in meters cubed of the tank inclusive of the, they told you, inclusive of the conical roof. So they're telling you this entire thing is filled with diesel, and they want to know why would they, okay, they want to find the volume. So they told you that your volume is a third your base area multiplied by your perpendicular height. The volume of a cone, because they said the following formula is related to a cone. Right? So they did not give you for the cylinder, they gave you for the cone. If you do not know volume of a cylinder, the formulas are given. Volume is equal to pi r squared h. My total volume is going to be a third the what did I say? A third your base area, by height, perpendicular height I should say. Right, that sounds plus pi r squared by height. That is volume of your cylinder. Right, so what you would do is, first off, what is my base area? It's a circle, and area of a circle is pi r squared. So the formula is going to be a third pi r squared multiplied by my perpendicular height, which we found to be, what they told you was 1.2. Alright, plus pi r squared h. So our radius we know is 8. No, not 8. Let's make sure it's 4. Alright, so let's just write it. Pi is equal to 22 over 7. Height of your cylinder, I should say, is 3.5. Right, r is equal to 4. Right, so now we're going to put in the values. That's a third multiplied by 22 over 7 multiplied by 4 squared multiplied by 1.2 plus, let's put this in brackets here. So this is volume of your cone, and this here is volume of your cylinder, which is 22 over 7 multiplied by 4 squared multiplied by 3.5 close bracket. So I'm going to find this one first and then this one, and then add them up. Alright, so that's a third multiplied by 22 over 7 multiplied by 16, because 4 squared is 16, multiplied by 1.2, and you're gonna get 20.11428571. right? Plus this here is 22 over 7 multiplied by 16. Why? Because it's 4 squared, which is 4 by 4 is 16. Multiplied by 3.5. Hold on. Yeah. 3.5 is 176. Right? You add that up. Plus 20 point, let's say 20.11. So this would be equal to 196.11 meters cubed to 2 decimal places, and that would be your answer for this question. Look at this. Show that the total curved surface area of the tank to the nearest square meter is 100 of the curve. Show that the total curved surface area of the tank to the nearest square meter is 140. So that means we have this curve area and this curve area. They already gave you your curved surface area for the cone. Alright, so now we are going to do this here. Okay, so first let's find the curved surface area of the cone. The cone curve surface area, I'm putting SA for surface area, alright, is pi r by the slanted height. That is equal to pi multiplied by r multiplied by your slanted height, right, which is 22 over 7 multiplied by 4 multiplied by the slanted height was what we got above here, which is 4.18. Just show this 4.18. Alright, 4.18, that is equal to, you use this on your calculator, 22 over 7 multiplied by 4 multiplied by 4.18 is equal to 52.54. 55, sorry, 55 to 2 decimal places. This is meters squared, right? And then the curved surface area of your tank, what you have to recognize is a cylinder the net for this is this here and the 2 circles, right? So therefore this length here is actually the circumference of your circle, and this length here would be what they gave you, which is 3.5. So this here is 3.5, and right here would be the circumference of your circle, which is pretty easy to find out. Circumference is equals to 2 pi r, which is equals to 2 multiplied by 22 over 7 multiplied by radius, which is 4, which is, put it on a calculator, that's 8 multiplied by 22 over 7, which is 25 and 1/7. And 1/7. This here is a rectangle when you open it out. So therefore, my area of the curved surface of the cylinder is length times breadth, because it's a rectangle, which is 25.17 times, sorry, and 1/7. 25 and 1/7, right? 25 and 1/7 multiplied by 3.5, which is equal to 88. So my total surface area would be, you add these two, 52.88 plus, what am I saying, 52.88, 52.55 Right, 52.55 plus 88 is equal to 140.55, which is basically 140, give or take a few decimal places. So that is how you would show this. You see, okay, so let's do part 4. The farmer wishes to paint the exterior of the tank. Given that 1 gallon, which is 3.79 liters, covers 30 meter square of surface area, determine the amount of paint needed in liters to paint the exterior of the tank. So your exterior of your tank would be the cone, the surface area of your cone, and the curved area here will not have anything to do. You would not paint at the bottom, right? We are just painting what we are seeing. So basically what we are doing is we're using the ants that we have from here to solve this part here. So what we know is they said that if, let's find out how many gallons, right? 1 gallon, hold on, no, we're going to use if, then, and therefore. So if we're trying to find gallons, well, we'll use gallons for now. If 1 gallon is equals to 30 meters squared, then 1 meter squared would be 1 over 30. Therefore, 140 meters squared. Why 140? Because that is the total surface area of your tank here, right? The storage tank would be equal to 1 over 30 multiplied by 140 over 1, right? So that's 140 divided by 30 is equal to, don't approximate just yet, this is 4 2/3 of a gallon, right? That is the first part, but they ask you determine the amount of paint needed in liters. Alright, so what you would do is you would you would say if 1 gallon is equals to 3.79 liters, then 4 2/3 of a gallon, or 4 2/3 gallons, is equals to 3.79 multiplied by 4 2/3. Alright, so multiply by 3.79, which is equal to 17.68666666, and it have a 7, right? So that is approximately 17.69 liters you need to paint the surface, the exterior of your tank. To put this to 2 decimal places, you're saying you're putting it to 2 decimal places, okay? Or you could say 17.7 liters, and that to 1 decimal place, and that would be your answer. Let's look at number 2. A toy rocket is projected upwards from point O on ground level, and the vertical height it travels can be modeled by the quadratic function, where x is a horizontal distance from the point O. Find the vertical height of the rocket when it is 1 meter away from O, meaning that x is equals to 1, because what they said, x is a horizontal distance traveled from point O. So when they said find the vertical height of the rocket when it is 1 meter away from O, meaning your total, the vertical distance, the horizontal, sorry, not vertical, is 1. So that's h of 1 is equals to 40 by 1 minus 8 by 1 squared, which is 40 minus 8, which is equal to 32 meters. And that is the answer for this question. Then they said determine the distance from O when the rocket returns to the ground. So if it returns to the ground, that means that it is equal to 0. Alright? So they're telling you 40x minus 8x squared is equal to 0. Right? If you see this, it's best to factorize. That is 8x open bracket 5 minus x close bracket is equals to 0, and we could let each bracket be equal to 0. So this 8x is equals to 0, or 5 minus x is equals to 0. You make x the subject, so x could be either 0 or x would be equals to 5, and that is the answer for this question. What is the value of x when h is greatest? Calculate the value of this greatest height. What you should recognize about this, right, is that they're talking about vertical and horizontal height. X is the horizontal distance traveled from O. So basically, you are getting something that looks like this. Where this is h of x, and this is x. Right? So they're asking you for your calculate the greatest value of the height. We're asking you for this coordinate here, that's the maximum height. Right, now we have done this because this is a quadratic curve, right? So your axis of symmetry, that is x, is equals to minus b all over 2a. When you find out the value for what x is, then your maximum value would be whatever h of whatever x is equal to. So we know that your thing is 40x minus 8x squared. So a is equals the coefficient of x, which is minus 8, and b is the coefficient of x, which is 40. So x would be equals to minus 40 over 2 by minus 8. So x is equals to minus 40. 4 2's, 8 2's are 16. So that's minus 16. Right, so minus 40 divided by minus 16 is 2.5. So x is equals to 2.5. Right, so my maximum value would be whatever h of, so we're finding h of 2.5. Right, that is equals to 40 by 2.5 minus 8 by 2.5 squared. Right, 40 multiplied by 2.5 is 100. And then we have 8 by 2.5 squared is equals to 50 minus 50. So h of 2.5 is equal to 50. So my greatest height would be 50 meters, and that is how I would solve this. Let's look at this. P is a point with coordinates minus 2, 3, and Q is the coordinates minus 5, 5, minus 5, minus 5, minus 1. Show that the gradient M is a straight line that passes through the points P and Q. M is equals to 4 over 3. They are asking you to find the gradient of PQ, right? Or the line PQ. If it passes through, so let's just say this was P and this is Q and it's passing through here, they're asking you to find the gradient of that line. Alright, so we know my gradient is equals to y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Alright, so you choose one to be group 1 and group 2. This is x1 y1, this is x2 y2. So that would be minus 1 minus 3 over x2 minus 5 minus minus 2. Right, which is minus 4 over minus 4 over minus 3. Negatives cancel out, so you know that your gradient is equals to 4 over 3, and that is how you would just prove that it is the gradient of the slope is 4 over 3. Right, the equation of the straight line that is perpendicular to PQ. As soon as you hear perpendicular to PQ, immediately you're supposed to think of the rule 1 by m2 is equals to negative 1. So the gradient of PQ, which is 4 over 3, multiplied by m2 is equals to negative 1. Right? The equation of the straight line that is perpendicular to PQ and passes through 0.52 is in this form. Right? So again, m2, or the gradient of the line that passes through PQ, is equal to negative 1 divided by 4 over 3. So m2 would be equal to negative 3 over 4. Alright, and it's passing through this point. We are going to put y is equals to mx plus c. We're going to put it like this first, and then you'll put it in this form. Alright, what is y? We have 5, 2, and you have your gradient is equals to minus 3, 4. Alright, so we're going to put it that this is x, this is y, so this is 2 is equals to m, which is minus 3 over 4 by 5 plus c. So c would be 2 plus 3 over 4 by 5. So c is equals to 2 plus 3 over 4 by 5. That's 5 3s of 15. Hold on. 5 3s, 3 over 4 multiplied by 5. That's 15 over 4. 15 over 4 is equals to 3 and 3/4. So it'll be 2 plus 3 and 3/4, which is equals to 5 and 3/4. Right. So basically, they are telling you, now let's just put it back. So we know y would be equal to negative 3 over 4 x plus 23 over 4. Yeah? Now we want it in this form here. Right? We want something to go in, so what we don't want a fraction. First of all, so what I would do is I would multiply this entire thing by 4. So if I multiply this by 4, 4 by y is 4y is equal to minus 3 over 4. X by 4 is minus 3, and 23 over 4 multiplied by 4 is plus, so that's minus 3x plus 23. Right, I want it where x plus y, so I'm going to put my x's and y's on one side, so it is going to be 4x, so this implies 4y plus 3x is equals to 23. Therefore, my values for a is the coefficient of x, so a is equal to 3, b is equals to 4, and c is equals to 23, and that would be the answer for this question. Right, and that is the end of May-June 2018.